So have you ever wondered about starting a body butter business, but you're not sure how to start or where to start, and you probably have like a small budget or no budget at all? Then keep watching. That's how I started without a budget, and there are little tricks and tips that you can use. Also, there are certain things that I did that worked, and there are things that I didn't do that I should have done. So this video and the video following this will help you with the background, with the back end of starting a body butter business. And if you're sitting at home and you're like, what do I do? Like, what is the first thing that I'm supposed to do? Then keep watching, and I hope you enjoy this series. So what we'll be going over is, what are you gonna call your business / brand's identity, your business / brand's persona, investing in your craft and learning new things, and what question you might want to ask yourself in the beginning of starting this handmade skincare body butter business. First thing, what are you going to call your business? Right? I know it sounds very simple, but I would say name your business something that is a reflection of the business. That's number one. Number two, name your business something that you're proud to call it, that you'll always want to call it, something that will make you excited. Give your business a name that your customers can easily recognize. If you notice, I noticed that there's a lot of skincare businesses now, and they have very long names, which is perfectly fine. Some people have success with it and some people don't. My suggestion is to get a small catchy name. If the name is long, it's not going to break you, but I'm just suggesting a shorter name because it's easier and it can be very catchy, and your customers will easily recognize it and share it with other people and talk about it. So that's why I will say to try to get a very catchy short name, not too long, and this name can be your domain as well, all your social media handles. So the next things I'll be talking about is what not to do when you're coming up with your business name. So the first thing I'll suggest is do not copy a name. Of course, that's common sense, but some people, and when I say copy a name, I'm not just saying not just copy and paste, because you can't really do that legally. Try not to copy a name, because I've seen that so much time, and I think it's tacky, because when I'm looking at your business, I'm not even looking at it as its own entity. I'm looking at your business as a derivative of someone else's business, because we already know that business is popular. Like, why did you just change a letter or add a Z to it? Don't do that. Even though you can still do business, it can still be successful, but if you want to be super creative and stand out, create your own business identity. If you really want to stand out, don't go see someone else's business name and probably they're like Coolly Naturals. So because you want something similar, you go Cool's Naturals. No, just be unique and be your own business. So don't do that either, or try not to do that. Don't half-ass the name of your business. The business naming your business, it probably takes a little while, but trust the process, okay? Trust the process, because you don't want to end up with a name and then you're just like, darn, maybe I should have named my business X or Y. Take your time and create the name for your business, because this is what people will know you by for the lifespan of your business. So really think about it and make sure it's something that you want. When you come up with this name that you're madly in love with and you like, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and check if it's available. Wait a minute, not just check if it's available on social media handles. Check if it's available in the trademark database, because some of these names are available on social media handles, and when you go in a trademark database, they're not available. And that's how a lot of us get really messed up, and then later down the line someone is sending you a letter, you're using my name X, Y, and Z. So to avoid that, go to the trademark database that is displayed here, and as you're going in there, you want to go into the trademark database, go into the search, type in the name that you came up with, look for it, and check if it's available. When it's available, you may or may not see. When it's available, it will show like a black and white screen saying that this name is not found in the database. So you would want to do that to make sure that this is available, because you want a solid business. Now, since we're in the trademark region, not really going to get too deep into that, but I will say this around trademark, because a lot of people have questions about that. Trademarking your business is an expense. It's a great expense to take on at the beginning of your business when you're starting on a very small budget. Let me say that again. Trademarking your business at the beginning is very expensive. I wouldn't say very expensive, but it's pricey. And if you're starting on a small budget, don't have a lot of money, you're not going to really have money to put into trademarking it. That's number one. Number two, my advice with trademarking is, as entrepreneurs, as people who are literally, if you're a serial entrepreneur, hopefully you don't have to rebrand, but you might want to rebrand. You might want to change your name. You might not like the name in the beginning, because sometimes in the beginning our brains are so flooded. So hopefully going through this workshop, it won't be as flooded, but I will suggest, I know a lot of the gurus and everybody's like trademark. I will suggest to hold off on the trademark and give yourself some time before you actually decide to make this a trademark. So now that you've went to the trademark database and you've checked if this name is available in the trademark database, then the next step you want to take is make sure that it's available on social media platforms. So when I say social media platforms, I am speaking about your IG, I am speaking about your YouTube, I am speaking and yes, your YouTube. I know you're a skincare business, but it's important that you take that name, claim that YouTube channel for your skincare business. You never know when you might need to post using it. And well, then honestly, even if somebody's using your name on YouTube, if you do have the proper security surrounding that name, you can, legally battle with them for it. But, just a precaution, you might want to do that. It's free to just save the name. So let's back to it. You want to get your social media handles: IG, YouTube, I'll say TikTok. TikTok. I don't use mine. I just took the name because I don't want nobody having my name on TikTok using it as their own. So TikTok. What are the other popular ones? Pinterest. I know a lot of people don't use Pinterest, but Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest is going to probably be some of you guys' best friend. And Facebook. So those are the 5 social media platforms I have in mind now. You can also secure that name on your Twitter, and how can I forget, your domain. Secure the domain. That is one of the most important ones. Secure the domain. So once you check that it's available trademark, available on social media platforms, the domain is available, then go ahead. I've met people before who secure the name and the domain is already taken. If you secure the name and the domain is taken, it's a battle and it's a headache. Why go through the headache? Unless it's a name that really means something to you and you really want it, then go back and forth for it. Take the legal steps and try to get this name. If it is not, adjust your name, change it, and make sure the domain is available along with the social media handles. That is very important just to create a cohesive brand along all platforms. So that is why I say to just make sure the name is available across all platforms, including your trademark database. And that will make your life so much easier, especially in the beginning. Now, disclaimer, making sure your name is available along these social media platforms does not mean that you're going to be active across all of them. We're going to get into that in the workshop, but another episode, right? We're going to dive deep into that as well. However, just for beginners, that does not mean you're going to go and become active on all these social medias. We're not doing that. We're being realistic here. I'm just saying to save the handle. You have the name, check if it's available in a trademark database, check if it's available across social media platforms, and you're checking your domain. That's plain and simple. The first thing I would suggest to do. Now that you have your name, the next thing you want to do, if you are starting out with a small budget, the next thing you want to do is get an LLC. Now, here's a little secret. Some people are starting with $0. So getting an LLC might not, you'd probably, let's be real, some people don't have the money to do that. I didn't have the money to do that. So if you have the name, go ahead and start, but don't wait to probably give yourself at least 3 months, or when the first sales that you get or anything like that, purchase the LLC or see if you can get the money from the LLC. But don't let not having the LLC stop you from starting. Don't let it stop you from starting. Try to get the money for it, but don't let it stop you from starting. It's important, but do not use it as a crutch to not start the business, right? So now you have the name, you secure the name, you're going to go and get your LLC. Now, disclaimer, I know there's a lot of websites that you can go ahead and get your LLC and they charge you. Now, if you're a person that you rather to pay someone to do this for you and you have the money to do that, then go right ahead and do it. If you are like me and you're rather in the beginning, and you're at that stage in the beginning where you have to save a lot, you don't have a lot of money to spare, but you want to start this business and you have to save it wherever you can, then this is what you're going to do. Whichever state I'm gonna post it here, whichever state that you're living in the US, I'm probably going to post New York and Virginia because I'm familiar with those states. You're going to go on their website. You probably don't know the website, so you want to go Google start LLC plus use the plus sign, your state, plus online. So you want to see if you can do it online. Now, when you do this, a lot of side businesses are going to pop up. They're going to charge you a fee. Be very wary of those, and you want to scroll down and find where it has your state website. Most state website like VA is at the end of it, it has business.va or something like that. New York is .nyc. Florida, I think, is f.ffl, something like that. But make sure you are going on your state's website. Do not find yourself on one of those side websites because they will charge you a fee. I'm going to do my best to post an example of the side websites and post an example of a state website. So it is very important you find a state website. Now that you've found your state website, you want to go on there and apply for your LLC. LLCs are very affordable to start. Depending on the state, but so far the states that I've seen, Florida, New York, Virginia, it hasn't been more than $100. I don't think so. You have some states that are more than that, but it's around that price. I think Virginia was actually $60 back when I did mine. So it all depends on your state. You're on the state website, you're probably on there starting your LLC wizard online, you're typing in your information, and you've confirmed and you've paid. Now you want to download this and you keep it for your records. Keep it for your records. You're going to need this because if you want to start business bank account, you're going to need that, right? You've secured your name across platforms. The next thing you want to do is go on the irs.gov website. Now let me be very clear. The IRS does not charge you for a tax number, EIN number. They don't charge for those. So don't let anyone tell you that they do. The last time I checked, they were not charging for EIN numbers. So you're going to go on the IRS website and you're going to go and get your EIN number. I am going to link I'm going to put below the direct link to the IRS website to get your EIN number. But let's be clear, if you are just starting out, you're the only person in your business, you do not have any employees, you're still an LLC, so you're a single member LLC or you're a sole proprietorship, that means you're not required to have an EIN, because what happens is that you're tied to the business as the only member. So your social security number is used to file taxes. That's basically ultimately that's what it means. They're just going to use your social security number. But if you have employees, that's when you would need an EIN to, file taxes for them and X, Y, and Z. And a multi-member LLC will also need an EIN. So let's go over that again. Sole proprietorship, single member LLC, which is 9 times out of 10 handmade skincare business, that's just us, we would use our social security number. I got one and I've never really used it to file taxes because it's just me. So I've been using my social security number. What I do use it for is if I'm trying to apply for certain things online, I would attempt to use my EIN. That's a whole different ball game, but I'm just touching on this just for clarification. All right, so let's get to the next step that you'll go after this. So the next thing we're going to discuss is your brand's identity/theme. All right, so this is what I mean. There's a lot of different types of skincare businesses out there, and these businesses ultimately sell the same thing. Like, let's be real. A lot of them sell the same thing. It might be different ingredients, maybe if it's even different ingredients, it's off by one, might be completely different, might be really similar. But what they all have is that they're all uniquely different in their branding, how they sell, and their customer persona, and their marketing. So you want to come up with an idea that's so different that yes, you're selling skincare, but when your customer sees anything like the brand colors, anything similar to what you're selling, they're going to go for yours because they know you. And let's say your brand identity should invoke a certain emotion out of your customer, that when they think about your business, this is what they want. So for example, there's a lot of skincare businesses that have this theme, similar theme, skincare bakery theme. There's a lot of, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a lot of skincare businesses, they have like a bakery theme to them. And from the bakery theme, even though there's a lot of them with that theme, they're all different. So one will be, let's say she'll have a line, and the line is basically named after all different types of shortcakes or cakes. So you have the strawberry shortcakes, banana shortcake, banana truffle. So they'll, you know what I'm saying? So that will be the theme, the identity of their business, everything bakery. So everything is like sweet, you know, chocolate dip, things like that. So I hope you're getting the drift of it. Chocolate dip, fudge melt, body butter, and it has like a nice fruity scent or things like that. So that's a great, you know, that's great branding and identity, because customers are going to see that, and especially if they put colors on it, customers are going to be drawn to that, and then they're going to know, okay, this is the one that I want. This is what I need for my business. Now, why this is important is because this is something I didn't do in the beginning, and then it made my products, like, they were still good, but it was kind of all over the place with the naming of the products, and it's, you know, it was just random, right? If you have a business identity, a theme, and you know, listen, my business is like based off of bakery, or my business is based off of motorbikes, like my businesses, you have some that are X-rated as well. So now they might have a body butter, probably call it F-bomb, you know, things like that. Once you have a specific business identity, after everything after that just falls in line. Because now when you create a category, you're going to create a category in that, underneath that identity. So if it's bakery have different type of bread, different type of cakes, different type of ice cream. You even have businesses that their businesses is identity is bakery, and underneath bakery it is ice creams, and underneath ice cream it's mostly like fruity ice creams, right? Or you also have businesses that, you know, all of this is going to be named after desserts, right? So that's what I'm speaking about. So let's recap. So having a powerful brand identity, a theme that you want to go under, will make it easier for you the long term when you're creating different products, different categories of products. Like even for a lot of the desserts ones, the line that they would come out with for the fall will be fall dessert themed, and you can name them off of that. But also make sure, I know these are all pretty and it sell, make sure your products work as well, because there's a lot of them look pretty, nice names, smell good, but don't work. So make sure your product works as well. But this is just branding, so we're gonna stay on theme here. So yeah, you're able to do something like that. You create, so ultimately having a great brand identity will lead to your products being inspired by that identity, especially the naming of your products. This will kind of make your life a little bit easier and give you an understanding of what you're trying to create for your products when you do not just create them, but scent them and get your branding on them. Other thing that you want to add into when you're thinking about your brand's identity for your skincare business, you want to think about what color you're going to use. You know, is your color going to be exciting? Do you want it to be subtle? Do you want your colors to be relaxing? What kind of emotion do you want these colors to invoke in your potential customers? So definitely think about your colors, and your colors all line into your identity. So you get that theme / identity, and you get your colors tied into it. Because if it's a bakery, you might want, depending on your audience, which is 9 times out of 10 it's women. If it's women, you want to go with the nice, probably subtle colors, or you can do it bright colors, you know, pink, yellow, orange. Some people like those colors. Or you can make it kind of darker colors, green, black. Black is both women and men, but for lots of businesses that target men, they usually go to black, brown, you know, colors like that. So definitely think about your colors as well. You want to also, another part of your brand's identity is the font. You want to also consider the type of fonts that you'll be using for your brand. And it doesn't have to be one. You could have one main font and then have a collective few underneath it when you want to do other type of branding. So definitely think about your font as well. The next thing you want to think about is the language that you'll be using. Are you going to be very sophisticated in your branding? Are you going to be very sophisticated on Instagram? Because if you notice, different brands speak to you differently on their pages. Yeah, some brand that their way of speaking to their customers is like very loud and very maybe aggressive to some people, but they're very bold. Some brands, their way of speaking to you is very subtle, very sophisticated, very relaxed. So how would you plan to speak to your customers? This will also tie into your customer persona as well. Another thing I want to touch on is your brand's personality. So what personality comes from your brand? There are brands on Instagram with multiple different personality, and 9 times out of 10 the brand of their Instagram is usually the brand of the owner. Like it probably with big companies that's not the case. With big companies, sometimes, as a matter of fact, with big companies, their brand has its own personality. It's completely different from what the person is. With developing businesses, a lot of our brand's personality is basically 9 times out of 10 that's the owner's personality, and it happens. That's just how it is, right? You have brands with certain values that seep through their business, and it's all in their business. So let's say this brand, we're going to go over different types of personality for brands. So based on what I was researching, because when I started my business, I wanted my brand's personality to be like wholesome, sincere, genuine, and wanting to help people. So if you want a sophisticated brand, then the language that you're going to use in your branding is completely different from a language that I would use in my wholesome content. My wholesome content would be, I want relaxing mind, body, and soul, care about the end, down to earth, care about the environment, very relaxed, very cool. While if I'm being very sophisticated, I'm going to show luxury. Like you can show luxury while being genuine, but with sophisticated type of branding, your font is very luxurious, like some of those type of font, and the way how you speak to customers is different as well. You're going to address them differently. You're going to compare things differently if you're being sophisticated, because you want to be very smooth, very charming, very glamorous. So you want to give that sophisticated vibes. So as I'm describing this, I'm pretty sure some of you guys are aware of what is sophisticated, so you might be able to come up with some ideas. So a few more examples of brands with like really big personalities are Lush, Olay. Some small developing business include Netter Gold. Netter Gold has a big personality. Arabelle's Naturals. So these are skincare businesses that have good themes, have different personalities and identity that you can look at and see, and just look for inspiration. This really helps because I think if I did this in the beginning, it would really help to mold how I would present information and ads to my target audience. And I think if you know this from the beginning, it can also help you. So these are my suggestions. So the next topic that we're going to go to which is your brand's customer profile. This is the person that you will be speaking to throughout your entire time of business. This can change. It changes. People rebrand. So for example, you are starting a skincare business. Let's say your person's name is Tanya. This is the person that you'll be selling to throughout the lifetime of your business. You might change her. She might change. Things might change. That's fine. So Tanya is a young lady between the ages of 25 and 35 that is very into her skincare or starting to become into her skincare. You can choose both. That maybe has an issue with dry skin, that wants to take her skincare seriously and wants handmade natural skincare products with quality ingredients for her full body. Tanya may also suffer from really dry skin and doesn't have great results from store-bought over-the-counter lotions and other moisturizers. So Tanya wants what you have. Okay, so with this customer persona, you are able to know what you're going to say to Tanya to get her to buy from you, what Tanya is looking for, what Tanya wants, what Tanya needs, and why Tanya needs to purchase your products. Because Tanya has dry skins, your product is solving the issue of dry skin. Tanya wants natural products that are safe, reliable, and of great quality. Your products answer that question as well. Tanya also wants a product from a handmade skincare business, or even if it's not handmade, someone with great customer service and knows what they're talking about. That's what you will do for Tanya, and that's how you will deliver for Tanya. And this is why Tanya will purchase from you. So when you're making your Instagram post, you have to talk to Tanya. You want someone who wants to combat dry skin. Also, one more thing about Tanya. Tanya could go both ways. If you're someone who likes colors, so Tanya is probably like a feminine person who is drawn to really soft colors and like to smell good. Other Tanya like mine would be someone who is not interested in highly fragranced products, but also wants unscented products for her dry skin because she is allergic or highly irritated to fragrance and doesn't want too much of the glitz and the glam, right? So Tanya wants product that gets straight to the my Tanya wants a product that gets straight to the point, doesn't need all the pretty stuff, just needs a product that is safe for her skin. The other Tanya, yes, she wants something that's safe for her skin, but she also likes the colors. She also likes it to be presentable. She likes it to be pretty, and that is fine. So to wrap up this session of the workshop, I will say that the first one thing that I will say is invest in your craft. And this is going to head the next episode. What do I mean by that, right? You're learning how to make something. You go on YouTube. Be careful who you're learning from on YouTube. Not everyone knows what they're doing. Find reputable YouTubers who can teach you how to make it. Not just teach you how to make it for DIY. Let me be very clear. You have YouTubers that are teaching you how to make it for DIY. Find a YouTuber that is teaching you how to make it for DIY, but also can make it sellable. That's what you want. Do not choose too many people, because then you're going to be drawing into a bunch of different things. Find probably 1 to 2 people that you constantly go to learn things and use their methods. Make sure these people have blogs that you can go back to, look it up and read and apply to your business. If they do have memberships for their blog, purchase it because it is beneficial to help you upgrade your products and upgrade your handmade creation. Also, if you don't want to go handmade, that is fine. You can definitely go wholesale. Unfortunately, I don't have wholesale links where you could get wholesale. Of course, these suppliers are on Alibaba. You can find them in order to help you create your products. Last but not least, I want you to ask yourself, do you want to do this for long term or short term? Because the answer to that question will basically, I feel like the answer to that question defines your business. Because if you want something long-term, there are certain things that you'll put in place to make sure it's long-term. If you're just doing this short-term to make a quick buck now, there's certain things that you wouldn't even waste your money doing, you know, because you're just making a quick buck now. You're just selling to family and friends real quick to make some money. So there's, you know, different directions that you'd want to go into. So be very mindful of that. I hope this first part really helped, you know, get your basis. Maybe you learned some of this before, maybe you didn't, but if not, I hope you were able to learn something from it. Now, the next episode is we're going to talk about building out your product catalog and what you would need to know. So building out your product catalog in the first, like what the first thing you need to do if you're gonna build a product, build a catalog. You know, what are you putting out there? This is if you're gonna hand make it. All right. One more thing, I will suggest you're starting on a budget, so you probably don't have money to go wholesale or to find a manufacturer. But if that's what you're looking for, I don't know much about that, but what I do know about is going on Alibaba, finding yourself a manufacturer. That's where most of the manufacturers, if you want to be blunt, most of your manufacturers or most of the companies that you see, their manufacturers are in China. So you're going to have to go on Alibaba, find a manufacturer that you're comfortable with, do your research, that you're comfortable with, do your research and start, and then order your samples. All right. So thanks for watching. To support my business, you can leave a comment. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine, but you can leave a comment. So, you know, to get me in the YouTube algorithm, you can like the video or you can subscribe. So that's how you would support me. One more thing, guys, I have an Instagram. My Instagram isn't currently active. Eventually it will be, but if you have questions, like, you can drop them below in the comment section right now. Do it now while I'm still a growing YouTuber. I hope this video helps, and I hope you subscribe so you can be able to see my next video and all the videos following this series. Have a wonderful day. Bye.